Welcome to Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or anyone else who felt called to watch this video. I am so glad to have you. This is going to be your Tarotscope reading for the lunar month, which begins March 13th with the new moon on March 13th, and that goes through the following new moon on April 11th. So we're going to be looking at these three areas of your life: career and money, romance, and then we'll get a final spiritual message to uplift you throughout the month. You can use the timestamps below to navigate through the video to whichever portions of the video are more interesting to you, or you can just watch the whole thing with me, and I would be very glad to have you throughout. For those of you who are astrology geeks and you know your personal natal chart placements, either in tropical and or sidereal, I have placed the new moon and full moon positions by sign and degree in the description box below. So if you want to kind of have an idea ahead of how these moons could be personally interacting with your own chart. Again, those are in tropical and sidereal. Both are listed below. And for sidereal, I've included the nakshatra placements as well. All right, so with all that said, Aquarius, let's go ahead and get started by looking at your career and money. So for you guys, I'm just going to start out using the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. That's the particular deck that I felt called to. I'm just letting Spirit kind of guide me for each sign. Okay, so let's pull an initial card for career, and we're going to pull an initial card for money, because of course we can, things can be going well in our career but not so well in our money, or vice versa. So we are going to be looking at these two separately, although they are often related to each other. So for career, we have the five, or I'm sorry, not the five. I was looking at the V here. I was just thinking five, but anyway, 5, 6, 7, 8. The Eight of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so let me get some clarification, because it feels like either you guys are stuck in a career that really isn't the one that you most want to be in, and that could be a source of frustration for you. Or for some of you, it's just like you're struggling to find a way to put your talents to good use or something. Yeah, I think some of you, you're just, regardless of what it is, you're looking for something to shift. You want something new. You want to be more fully aligned with something that really allows you to hone your inherent skills, talents, and abilities, your passions as well, and to be able to really apply them towards your career life. So yeah, some of you may be in careers that are just feeling like they're not quite right for you. Or even if you're in the right career, you just are not, let's say if you're a scientist perhaps, maybe you're working as a scientist, that's your calling, but maybe you've been assigned to a project that just isn't something that you care about. You're like, yeah, I love doing research or I love doing experiments, but like the particular, assignment that I have right now is not something that I care about, something to that effect. Okay, so what's the guidance? How can Aquarius shift this energy? How can they make best use of the energies available to them this month? Okay, so we have the Death reversed. I feel like your guides are saying that you're already a great deal of the way on track. You're already on track to some tremendous degree. So I kind of feel like what they're saying is you don't have to have a complete overhaul. So you don't have to leave this career field entirely, or even for some of you, you don't have to leave this workplace entirely. But something needs to change, but they're saying you don't necessarily have to throw out the baby with the bathwater. There are good things happening for you in your career, but you might be so sort of frustrated with the way things are going, you just want to throw the whole thing away and clear the slate entirely and start completely new. Your guides are saying that really isn't the best approach right now. Yeah, there's a lot here that you really would be best to maintain. And of course, I'm reading for a lot of people, so it could be different for each of you, but basically they're saying there's a way to bring this freshness and newness and vitality into your current career circumstances without getting rid of everything completely. So even those of you who are, maybe you're between jobs or you're between careers and you're like, well, what do you mean throw everything away? There's nothing here to throw away. Yeah, I mean, like if your life circumstances are such that you have a lot of leisure time on your hands, right? You don't want to get rid of leisure. Leisure is a wonderful part of life. So even there, you don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. So, yeah. So keep in mind, if you're out there and you're looking for a job, for example, you want to be aligning with a job that allows you to have work-life balance. And for those of you who are out there, you're in an occupation. Again, I just feel like Spirit is saying you don't necessarily have to leave your occupation entirely in order to give it fresh energy, or you don't have to leave your career field entirely. You could change to a different employer or workplace or whatever without leaving the career field. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Any final messages from Spirit here? Your guides really just want you to do some deep thinking about this and try to look at it from every possible angle here. How can I best bring a spirit of renewal into my career life without throwing away everything that I've worked towards? Because a lot of what you've worked towards is very good for you. With the Queen of Pentacles, you don't want to get rid of everything. Something needs to change, but not everything. So you're going to have to do some deep thinking on your own to kind of figure that out. All right, now for your money, Aquarius, we get the Seven of Wands. Now with the Seven of Wands, this shows me someone who has gotten to a pretty good place in their finances, but you feel defensive. It's like you have to defend your financial gains. So you're in the mentality of, okay, I've gotten to a good place here. My money is good right now, but I could lose it any moment. Okay, so that's sort of setting the scene here. What do your guides have to say about that? Okay, Ten of Swords. I feel like they want you to surrender. Rather than to be in this constant place of defensiveness, it's like surrendering, kind of like, I used to go to dialectical behavior therapy. And sometimes people can be in a mindset of catastrophizing, which is when you get fixated on the worst possible outcome, to the point that you've convinced yourself that that's going to happen, that the worst possible outcome will be the outcome. Well, the worst possible outcome is just one of many potential outcomes. But if you're constantly thinking, I need to defend myself against that catastrophe that I'm just so consumed with, knowing that catastrophe, I'm going to lose my money, whatever it is. I'm going to lose all the financial ground that I've gained. I'll lose all of my savings. I had a good nest egg, but now I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to maintain it. Dialectical behavior therapy would say, what if the worst possible outcome did happen? What then? Would you still be able to figure it out? Yeah, I think you would. I came across this saying recently online. It was, you have survived 100% of your bad days. It's true. Try to disagree with it. You're here, you're listening to me. You have survived 100% of your bad days. Every obstacle, you've survived it. You've proven that. So what if the worst possible scenario happened to you in regards to your money? you need to be in the mindset of knowing that it's not necessary to worry so much about it. Worrying about this possibility, which is really just a possibility, it's just that among many possibilities that something bad could happen to your money, that is not going to prevent it, even if it should happen. So if you surrender and trust that all is well and all will be well, and no matter what happens, you will definitely be able to survive it and thrive it, you're going to be in a much better place. Nothing can touch you. Nothing can take away your strength. You are strong. You can do anything. You are successful. You will be successful, no matter what life throws at you. So this is your mentality. You've decided, but because you are terrified of something happening to your money, that that's what's going to happen. No, the reality is success. If this month throws positive things towards you and lots of money towards you, you're going to be the Six of Wands. If it throws an unexpected expense towards you, you're going to be the Six of Wands. You are success. In your finances this month, this is the only truth here. It doesn't matter what happens. You are success. You have always been success. You have survived and thrived through every financial obstacle and seeming catastrophe that you have faced up to this point, and that will continue to be true. There is nothing that can undo your success. You are success. So this is the month, if you haven't already been knowing that, to get your mind right. I am success. I am financial success. I am wealthy and successful, and I successfully handle everything that life throws at me. Regarding my finances, I am simply successful in all ways. In all and every circumstance, I am success. Hallelujah. That's it. All right, so I hope that this was a helpful message, Aquarius. Let's go ahead and move on into the romance portion of the reading. All right, so you're the first folks who I felt guided to use this deck with at all here for your romantic life reading. So let's go ahead and get started with using this deck. This is the Connect Oracle deck by Ship Sud. And let's just see what's coming up for Aquarius here. What does Aquarius need to know? Trauma. Generational curses are blocking our union. I feel that you guys are really going through some stuff right now, because the career and finances reading got real deep. And you know what I really feel like for you guys is this might be a month where there's just a lot of really intense healing going on for you guys. Okay. I think that a lot of trauma is being healed. But sometimes that kind of deep level of healing can be a bit uncomfortable, but it's the most thorough healing in my mind. Okay. Okay, we have a Queen of Cups reversed representing you, Five of Pentacles representing the shared energy, and the Knight of Swords representing a person that you have in mind. For those of you who don't have a particular person in mind, if you're just single and looking and you're wondering, is love going to come along this month? Then I'll pull cards for you in a moment. But let me start with this energy, because this feels like the energy of someone who has either you're in a relationship and that's what you're asking about, or there's someone you have mutual feelings for and you're asking about that, even if it's not a relationship. So this is what I'm getting. You know, we have this trauma card. trauma is blocking our union. Some of you are already in union, so it's not blocking the union per se, but it could be causing difficulty here for the two of you. With the Five of Pentacles, you know, I view that this is the energy between you and the other person. This is you, this is them. Of course, energies can be switched, but this is your shared energy. The shared energy of the connection or the relationship is the Five of Pentacles. I always see this as two people who, for one thing, are not recognizing the degree of love that is here, because it is love that is keeping you together. These are not two people who are staying together, you know, because things are going well. These are two people who are willing to work through the hard times and to overcome struggles and obstacles and work through it to get to the other side. Both people are equally invested in making this work. And you could be in a very difficult place where it feels like a very bleak, you know, everything feels very bleak or difficult. It feels like there's a lot of hardship in this connection. But I feel like the only reason it feels that way is because the two of you are in this process of healing. On your end, we have the Queen of Cups reversed. You have a lot of emotions that are bubbling up and that are probably very difficult to deal with right now. And you may not know how to deal with them. I mean, you don't know how to handle them. But, you know, it could be one of the messages of the Five of Pentacles is to ask for support. If you've never gone to therapy, perhaps this might be a time where you could consider getting support in that way. But, or you could find support in your spirituality, your faith. I feel like there's a lot emotionally within you that needs to be processed in order for you to complete this healing cycle. You know, there may be times when you don't feel that the other person quite understands your emotions. For some of you, it may even feel that they attack you anytime you do try to express or explain how you're feeling. So if you already feel a bit emotionally blocked off anyway, and then whenever you try to address the emotions that you have, you get this type of response, you know, it's like someone who's like, no, you know, you don't feel that way, or those feelings aren't right, or I don't like how you're expressing your feelings. When it feels like you're getting pushback from this person, anytime you try to express yourself, that's going to make it more difficult, right? You know, I think that it could be that this person just does not understand how difficult it might be for you to handle your emotions right now. And so for them, they're just like, buck up and deal with it, perhaps. They don't understand you, and, you know, maybe they don't have the capacity to, but I do feel like ultimately both of you want to work through this, and both of you really need to do your healing. You know, I think on your end, you need to recognize your emotions are not wrong. All of your emotions are valid. And this person, although they might be coming across as sort of combative, or they would prefer to just remain in logical, a place of logic rather than emotions, you know, from their end, they perceive themselves as being very understanding of you. So they may not even totally understand that they're coming across as so harsh whenever you are showing your emotions. They just may not even see it that way. I don't even think it's their intention. They're not having an intention of making things harder for you emotionally. In their mind, they actually are being very understanding of you. But I don't think that you are experiencing it in quite the same way. You know, and that's just a truth of reality. Every person is going to have a different perception of the same reality. It's the same shared reality, and yet we're all experiencing it differently because we all have different perceptions. So just know that your emotions are completely valid. Don't judge your emotions. And don't allow this person to judge your emotions. Don't allow yourself to be judged by them. You're entitled to your emotional experience. You're going through like some sort of tremendous healing process, and that's difficult. And this person may or may not totally understand your particular experience because they're over here having their own experience of things. But I do feel that they do truly love you and care about you. So the best thing you can do is not deny the emotions that you are having. Allow yourself to feel those emotions. Find a healthy outlet for them. It could be exercise. It could be journaling. It could be, talking to your pet, or going to a counselor, or all of the above, or something totally different, some sort of creative self-expression, whatever it is. You need to process. You need to pay attention to and acknowledge these emotions. You certainly don't need to push them away or judge them. Your emotions are completely valid. And you might just have to have compassion for the fact that this person is having their own experience and their own perception, and they may not be the person that you can totally rely on to help you resolve these emotional issues. You might have to look outside of this relationship or outside of this connection in order to find that. All right, so that's what I have for those of you who are asking about a particular person that you have in mind. For those of you who are just wanting to see if love will arrive this month, let's pull some cards for you as well. Okay, your video is running a little bit longer than the others, but you all had a lot of deep stuff to kind of talk through. But just for those of you who are wondering, is love going to come along? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think that it's kind of like, I hope that you guys listened to the message that was coming through before about healing traumas and all of the guidance about really acknowledging and paying attention to your emotions right now, because I think that there's no need to go so much more in depth for you guys. I will just say that the type of love that you would most like is not coming to you this month, most likely because the real priority for you as well is about really healing these emotional traumas. That's really what's more important to you, and you're just not going to be in a position for this anyway until this part of it is taken care of. So that's what I have to say. So if you didn't hear it before, rewind a little bit, pull the video back a little bit and listen to what I said about, acknowledging your emotions and finding healthy outlets for that, and recognizing that, there's not necessarily going to be someone who comes along who can solve that emotional trauma for you. You have to begin the healing process or continue along with the healing process if you've already begun it. Because this is just so necessary for you right now. There's just a lot that needs to be healed. All right, I'm going to get just a final supportive message from your spirit guides. Okay, let's see here. What does Aquarius need to hear? All right. Okay. Dear you, it might be hard to believe that you'll ever get to where you want to go. Feel the way you want to feel and find peace and security. But You can. There's lots to celebrate in this life, but first you need to let go of this attachment to achieving certain results. It is easy to get caught in the endless loop of wanting this or that so that you can feel safe. The only way out is to surrender the attachment. Empty yourself so you can be filled with something new. The compulsion will be lifted and peace will come. Trust that something better waits, that something new will come up, something new will open up, and you will see new opportunities for fulfillment. The truth is, whenever you get into the loop, what you are really looking for is spirit. That connection is where the power, the peace, and the purpose lies. Everything else follows after that. Give yourself a hug. We've got you. Loving you so, so much. So that was a beautiful message, and I'm going to leave it on that note. I'm sending you a lot of love as well, Aquarius, and many best wishes to you. All right, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.